Hello, I'd like to welcome you to this webinar on energy performance contracting and the role of the EPC Project Facilitator. My name is Joe Hayden. I'm an engineer with Kadima. Kadima are the energy advisors to the Dublin local authorities. We were founded in 1997 as a not-for-profit organisation, and we have 13 staff. We're based in Temple Bar. We offer services in energy monitoring and management, energy awareness, policy and planning, project management and funding, and we also act as EPC project facilitators. So over the years, we've worked quite a lot with European funded projects, two of these who have been directly related and focused on energy performance contracting. These are the European Energy Services Initiative 2020 and Guarantee. Both of these focus on the promotion of performance contracting, but in particular on the role of the EPC Project Facilitator. EASY 2020 ran from April 2013 to March 2016, and Guarantee took over from here and is due to finish in March 2019. So through working in these projects, Kadima have gained considerable experience from many European partners, such as Berlin Energy Agency, Graz Energy Agency, Factor 4 in Austria, or sorry, Factor 4 in Belgium, 7 in the Czech Republic, and ICANA, Spain. These partners have many years experience, up to 20 and 30 years in working with EPC. So it's been quite beneficial in that way. So I would just like to highlight some tools that have been developed, particularly through the Guarantee project, that will be very helpful to anybody who is setting out to consider EPC. And the first of these is the Guarantee Best Practice Database. So over the course of both the EASY 2020 project, 22 EPC projects were delivered, and the 33 projects will be delivered by the Guarantee project. So you can see many examples of these on the Guarantee Best Practice Database. For example, here we have a project from the Czech Republic, and you can see the project scope, basically some text describing what the building is that was renovated, or a pool of buildings in some cases. And then as you go down further, you'll see a full list of all the measures that they installed. So here there was energy efficient lighting, thermostatic valves, basically standard stuff, attic insulation. But crucially, you will see here that they give you the main facts on the project. So you can see the year that the measures were installed. You can see the duration of the contract was 8 years, the total investments, the energy cost baseline, and the guaranteed savings in euro and percent. And all of these will give you a flavour of what to expect from a typical EPC project that has been completed across Europe today. And for more examples, please visit the Guarantee Project website and best practice, and you'll get many examples there. Another tool which is very useful, particularly if you're non-technical and you're looking at EPC, and this is the EPC Assessment Tool. And this is a simple tool designed for non-technical people to get a sense if their building is suitable for EPC. It takes about 5 minutes, got 13 simple multiple choice questions, so such as this: what would you like to achieve? Or the amount of your typical energy spend. If you have an exact number, great. If not, just pick a range. And from this, you will get a simple, it's an automatically generated report, but it draws on all the experience from the best practice database and the experience of the partners across Europe to give you a sense of what your project may achieve if you consider EPC. So what's the potential savings you could be looking at? And you can find this on the Kadima website under Kadima Project's EPC Assessment Tool, as indicated there on the top of the screen. Another output of the project, and this was more from the Easy 2020 project, is the EPC Project Facilitator's Guide. So anybody interested in project facilitation, this is an extremely good place to start. It's one of the main outputs, and it was developed by Graz Energy Agency and Berlin Energy Agency, who both are experienced EPC project facilitators. It's free to download from the Guarantee website, and the guide sets out the key role of the EPC project facilitator. And just to be clear here, that there are two types of facilitator that often get confused. One is the kind of overall market facilitator, and this would be the role that the likes of SEAI would play in Ireland. So this involves general information, best practice information, standards, procurement and contract documents, lobbying of government for EPC policy. Then on the other side, you have the EPC Project Facilitator, and this is somebody who works on behalf of a client for the realization of a specific EPC project. It's kind of change management in a way, and it's all about the communication and the understanding of what is essentially kind of a new way of approaching refurbishment works in particular. And this is a role that Kadima play with the local authorities. So to look at the different phases of an EPC project, so it's the role of the EPC project facilitator to guide the client through the EPC process. And this role is currently funded by SEAI through the Project Grant Assistance, or the PAG grants. The process typically involves about 5 stages that a project will advance through. These are project identification, preliminary analysis, procurement, installation, and the guarantee phase. And it's the main role of the facilitator to assist the client through the first 3 stages here in particular. But they may be involved later with the ESCO as well, or in the measurement and verification. So you can see here from the chart, the 5 stages across the middle. On the top, we have the potential inputs from the customer or the client. And on the bottom, we can see here on the first 3 stages, the input from the project facilitator, and then the ESCO takes over for the installation and the measures. So just to look at these a little bit closer and what is involved. So stage 1 and 2 is project identification and preliminary analysis. And this is a key phase and essentially your decision-making phase in terms of whether EPC is actually suitable for your particular project or not. Because EPC is not suitable. It's not a panacea. It's not suitable for all projects. So here you're looking at a rough technical and financial analysis. You're looking at a comparison of your different options to determine the suitability of EPC. It'll involve lots of meetings, potentially workshops with clients. It depends on how many stakeholders you have. If you have a large campus, you might get all your building managers involved. You want to get them on board. You want to explain why EPC and actually perhaps understand why EPC yourself. And then there's looking at the different potential funding models, the financial structures, and various other potential barriers that will come in place. As a general rule, the annual energy spend for a building or a group of buildings should be at least €300,000 per year. And this is to justify the transaction costs for the procurements and the other services that are needed in the project. For a group of buildings, the minimum annual energy spend within this should be at least about €20,000. So you could have a pool of 20 smaller buildings that will potentially work. Like these are just rules of thumb. They're not exact, but they're a good starting guide. So if you're considering EPC for your building, the first step is to look at your total energy spend of your building or group of buildings. If you're happy that this is within reason, then you should have a register of energy saving opportunities. And this will give you an idea of the potential energy savings available in your project. And these 2 pieces of information from a technical perspective will give you a very good indication of whether EPC is actually suitable or not. There are, of course, other considerations, financial and political ones, that your organization may also need to look at. Once the decision to use EPC has been made, then the next stage is procurement. Here, the facilitator will work with help the selection of the procurement procedure. This will generally be either a competitive dialogue or potentially the new negotiated procedure. This is critical because you want the contractor to take the technical risk, or the ESCO. So, and through competitive dialogue, you allow them to basically propose their measures and design their solution that they will implement if successful. And by doing that, they take all the technical risk, which is one of the key reasons for using EPC. The ESCO will assist you with this in drafting all the procurement documents, assembling a technical file, which is your energy audits, your list of measures, historical energy information, technical drawings for lighting, floor plans, anything you have. The more, the better. It makes your bids more competitive in the end. And the facilitator will work with the client legal team to adopt the EPC contract if necessary to the client's needs and assist with the evaluation of the tenders. Then at this stage, you would have your ESCO selected, and then you're getting into the construction phase. Here, the ESCO essentially takes over a leading role in the project because they will have their project delivery plan or their implementation plan and look after design and all the health and safety roles, and the facilitator and the client can have kind of more of a monitoring role to make sure that the construction phase is completed as tendered. Then once the construction phase, which probably looking at 3 to 6 months, depending on the size of your project, then you're into the guarantee phase. So from the Dublin example, the implementation or construction phase was 3 months, and the guarantee phase then is for 8 years. And this 8 years will be punctuated by measurement and verification of the project savings at probably something like 6 months periods. So why do we not have more EPC in Ireland? There's a number of reasons for this, such as a low level of understanding of EPC, a lack of project examples in the public sector, a lack of experienced facilitators and ESCOs, a perception that EPC is extremely complex and costly, and the last one, which is often the most common, is that you only consider EPC if you need finance. So EPC is often missold as a method of financing projects, which gives the impression that you'd only consider EPC if you need project finance. This is not true. EPC is about performance guarantees and guaranteed energy savings. It can be used regardless of who provides the finance. So a project could be wholly client finance or a share between the client and the ESCO and still be an EPC project. It's all about the performance guarantee. So just to finish off, we have the first example or the first project that we facilitated, Kadima, was with Dublin City Council, and it was for 3 leisure centres, 3 of their largest buildings. These were Ballymun, Markovich and Finglas leisure centres. The EPC contract was signed in July 2016 between Dublin City Council and Noel Lawler Green Energy Solutions for a period of 8 years. And it covers the full maintenance of all the equipment in the buildings. So these are the main contract terms. We can see it was for a period of 8 years. The capital investment was just around €700,000. The potential energy savings were indicated to be 38%, or a value of €164,000, saving just under 640 tonnes of CO2 per year. So how did it actually work out in reality? So the year one M&V results show that the value of the savings actually exceeded expectations and reached €186,000 in cost savings. And this was primarily due to an increase in the actual daytime electricity savings, and this is the highest value of units. So while the savings target, overall savings in kilowatt hour terms was 38%, the value was higher. So that was very good. And year two has also saved 38%, or looking like it will be on 38% as well. So thank you very much for joining me. If you have any further information, please don't hesitate to contact me, and you can get me on these details here on the screen. Thank you.